Hello people, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. Guys, hope you are well. Whiteboard. I want to talk to you about why I think a lot of therapy fails. Counseling, coaching, those kind of things. Why it fails, and I will explain to you as I go along. Let's look at a tree. And then of course you get your different branches. And then what happens is you go to the counselor, the therapist, and you say to him, "Dear therapist, I've got this particular problem." And then the therapist listens to you, the mentor, the coach, the counselor. And then they look at this whole picture and they go, "We know exactly what to do. What we'll do is, you see this branch here, this one is not so good. In fact, let's get rid of these two as well." There you go. In fact, after 2 or 3 sessions, 4, 5, 6 sessions, they might say, "Well, actually, you don't need that branch either. You've made progress, carry on." And whilst this is okay for some, my personal belief is it doesn't work. Others will turn around and say, "I know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take the tree and we're going to get rid of it completely." Now there's no branches, there's no leaves, nothing. But they leave the trunk of the tree. That might work for some people, but in my eyes, totally ineffective. And here it is, why I think it is ineffective. So let's draw our tree. And there's our ground, and then underneath here is the thing's root system. So whilst this works for some, whilst that works for some, the problem is we've still got the root system here. Therefore, the root will always bring up the same tree effectively because of the root. So, there's our ground, there's the root system, and there's the tree. What I think we need to do is get rid of the tree and then get rid of the roots. So effectively what we've got is a massive hole in the ground. So now you deal with everything. So you've got a hole in the ground. Let's get rid of this as well. So you've got a hole in the ground. Now because you've got a hole in the ground, plant the seed, a new seed, a different seed. Then a different tree will come up. Unless you deal with the root, you will only just deal with its fruit. When you deal with the root, you deal with the root and the fruit. Cutting the tree down produces more of the same. Getting rid of the root means you get rid of the genesis of the problem. There's nothing wrong with the soil, there's nothing wrong with the rain, and then there's nothing wrong with the sun that shines. So if we put a little sun here, that's fine. And when it rains, that's fine. The problem is the seed that produces roots. So when you're suffering with stress, anxiety, panic, fear, anxiety, these are simply the symptoms of what's going on. The branches, the apples, the pears. But when you dig into what the cause is, and you find the stimulus for the expression of what's going on here, and the expression is any of the things I've mentioned and whatever else. You'll find that if you deal with this thing here, all this is dealt with. Deal with the root, you automatically deal with the fruit. When you deal with the fruit, you have to deal with the fruit over and over and over again. And that's the reason why traditional counseling is, in my eyes, ineffective. They don't like dealing with this because it upsets people. People get angry. People cry. People do all sorts of things. But that's part of the healing process, as I made a video yesterday. It's part of the process. You need to go through all these emotions. I'll give you another example. When people have spots on their face, and it becomes so big it becomes a cyst, you need to squeeze this thing from all angles. You have to apply pressure and it hurts. But once that pus and rubbish comes out, then healing takes place. This is the same. Dealing with this thing, you need to apply pressure. It hurts. It's not nice. But once you hit it, and that pus comes out, all this other stuff here is dealt with. It is exactly the same. Physical issues, psychological issues, emotional issues, deal with the root. You also deal with the fruit. There you go. This is vital. This is automatic afterwards. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, please let us know. Please do all the YouTube admin. The like, the share, the subscribe, the comments, hit the bell, pick all. Let me know what you think. For now, this is Mark from Kharischangeworks. I'll speak to you soon.